For a long time, most people were taught the same idea. If you find one stable path and stay on it long enough, life will feel secure. That belief made sense in a slower world. But today, many people are doing everything right and still feel uneasy. They have a job, they work hard, they plan carefully, yet beneath the surface, something feels fragile. The discomfort isn't always about money, it's about dependence. When your income, identity, and sense of worth are all tied to a single role, any change feels threatening. This is where the idea of inner wealth begins, not wealth measured by income alone, but by resilience, choice, and psychological stability. Relying on one identity is a hidden risk. Most people think instability comes from change, but often, risk comes from concentration. When one role carries everything, your income, your status, your confidence, you are not protected, you are exposed. The problem isn't that work changes. The problem is having no buffer when it does. Inner wealth begins when you stop asking, how do I secure this one role? And start asking, how fragile is my entire structure? A life built on one pillar doesn't fall slowly, it collapses all at once. Multiple roles are about balance, not busyness. Many people misunderstand diversification. They assume it means working more hours or chasing every opportunity. But inner wealth isn't created by exhaustion. It's created by structure. A resilient structure includes skills that can function in more than one context, roles that are not perfectly correlated, value that doesn't disappear when one stream pauses. This isn't about hustling, it's about designing a life where no single failure defines you. When pressure is distributed, your mind stays calmer, your decisions become clearer. Transferable skills matter more than titles. Titles don't travel well. Environments change, systems evolve, organizations restructure. What remains useful are abilities that move with you. The ability to explain complex ideas clearly, to organize information, to teach, analyze, synthesize, and adapt. These are not tied to any one institution. Inner wealth grows when you invest in capabilities that stay with you regardless of circumstance, not because you plan to leave, but because you no longer fear having to. Sustainable growth is quiet and gradual. Real stability rarely arrives through sudden leaps. It's built slowly, almost invisibly. Most resilient people didn't overhaul their lives overnight. They experimented carefully. They layered new structures on top of old ones. They allowed progress to compound quietly. This approach protects your nervous system. When growth is gradual, your identity keeps up with your environment. You don't feel like you're constantly running to survive. Inner wealth respects pacing. It doesn't demand urgency. Psychological security is the real asset. H2. Some people increase their income, but remain anxious. Others earn less, yet feel grounded and steady. The difference isn't strategy, it's psychological security. Psychological security comes from knowing you are not defined by one outcome. You can reconfigure your life if needed. Loss does not equal collapse. This internal stability changes how you respond to stress. When fear decreases, decision quality improves. Inner wealth reduces panic, and panic is what destroys long-term thinking. Core Insight 6. There is no universal blueprint. There is no correct number of roles, no ideal structure, no universal path. Inner wealth is personal. Some people need flexibility, others need simplicity. Some want expansion, others want protection. The only meaningful question is this: does your current structure support your life, or slowly drain it? If it drains you, no amount of effort will fix it. Structure comes before success. Inner wealth is not about escaping responsibility. It's about removing unnecessary pressure. It's about building a life where change doesn't feel like a threat, and uncertainty doesn't trigger panic. Not because everything is predictable, but because you are adaptable. Long-term thinking isn't about waiting. It's about choosing a position you don't need to escape from. Before your next decision, ask yourself what kind of future it quietly creates. This channel is about thinking clearly, in a world that constantly pulls you to react.